Well, hi. I am Screevo, and I'm going to be playing A Link to the Past in an unconventional manner. This is going to be any percent no EG. Basically, what that means is I cannot use the funny walk under the floors glitch that lets you beat the game in 2 minutes. However, I am not a smart individual, and I cannot play the game and talk very well at the same time, so I am joined by two of the smartest guys I know, and I would like for them to say hi.
Well, unfortunately, those guys couldn't be here, but I'm here instead. I'm Greenham.
Well, speak for yourself. I am Josh, and I'm definitely one of the smartest people Screevo knows, so yeah.
So I think we had a file name incentive, and I think that I've got it correct. So is that the right file name?
Let me check. Actually, the file name that actually won the bid war is where is it? There it is. The file name bid war. Any percent no EG, and we had 2 entrances. Jojo won in the end with $30 against Lunk with 25. Thanks God. So
yeah.
I'm ready
Lunk.
pretty much. When you are, so you can give a countdown, then we can start.
All right. I also do want to mention that we have one other bid war running for this marathon.
Oh, yeah.
Since we didn't get it at GDQ, you have the chance to kill or save the animal. Now, we will normally be peacefully hovering past Moldorm at the end of Ganon's Tower, but if you have ever played this game and you have ever lost a run to that googly-eyed jerk, you can donate, and I will stop and slaughter him mercilessly for no good reason at all. Just give us money. That's all you gotta do.
Okay.
Sounds like a really good reason, actually.
Yeah, but with that said, oh, and also, this run's gonna go well because I'm using a cart that is signed by the one and only Tampa. So, this, I'm using the good luck and mojo of our red snuggied friend. But,
First try mirror jump incoming.
First try mirror jump, first try hover, world record incoming. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, dude.
Thank you.
So the opening of this run is very normal. You won't actually see any glitches until we get past Eastern Palace. So the beginning of this run is going to look like you've ever seen a regular speedrun of this. If you've seen, the Master Sword category or something like that, for instance. So we're just going to be going through Escape, saving and quitting, going to Eastern, and getting the boots, which kind of really opens up the game for us and allows us to get to some places where we shouldn't be a little bit earlier than the game intends. So this category does not allow EG, as Screevo mentioned. Exploration glitch is, the glitch that just allows you to walk underneath the game itself and just pass through anything. So it really makes the 80% run pretty trivial if we do allow that glitch. It's way more fun if we don't allow it. So Screevo is going to be doing his best to beat this game as fast as possible, with the one restriction just being not being able to use EG.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, the EG run is capable of beating this game in under 2 minutes, so EG is a very powerful glitch. Makes it more for the any percent run here to ban it.
Oh, and by the way, for the keeping track, it'll be about 24 minutes or so until we want to shut down save and kill.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, I can just say, guys, get your donations in. That's a pretty cool donation goal, right? If I remember correctly, last GDQ, we roughly got, last SGDQ, we roughly got $1 million in donations just for kill safety animals. So
I think we can do that.
I think we can do that too. Go ahead.
We can at least double that easily, I'm sure. It's kind of interesting here that the difference between kill and save the animals, versus like as you traditionally see it in something like Super Metroid, where if we kill the animal in this instance, we actually are losing time as a result. So typically you'll see a lot of speedrunners being in favor of killing the animals because it's faster, but here it's a little bit different as it's more of a revenge-based motivation. But yeah, we still need to rescue Zelda, at least in this category, otherwise the game is actually left in a really weird rain state that would kind of preclude us from actually being able to get to where we need to go, so we still have to go through all this rigmarole of rescuing the Baden and getting the lamp and going through the sewers and all that, but should be out of here hopefully in under 6 minutes, wouldn't you say, Screevo?
We better. You can ignore that boomerang I had to use on the ball and chain guard.
No, we can't.
We'll talk about it later. Yeah, world record is poor little Pincus, who we really should thank because he has developed a fantastic practice hack for this game. If you have any desire to learn, you can check out Pincus's practice hack. I think they're going to put the link to past Discord, might be in the scroll. Our Discord, and we can hook you up with that practice hack. It is pretty much the key to all the hot new times that we've seen come into the leaderboard. So shout outs to poor little Pincus. I don't actually have a timer running on my side, so I'm just going to assume this is going to be a 5:49.
I mean, we really have no evidence to argue against that, so I think you can get away with it. Just don't update the gold sheet with that, please.
This first part of the game doesn't have anything too exciting.
You don't want to talk about pumping?
Please.
I think we've all gotten our fill of that through the NMG tournament, so yeah.
Guys, I have a quick announcement to make, because it's kind of funny. Actually, we just had the Dinspo race. Demon, the winner of the Dinspo race, did a run after our race, and he got world record by 40 seconds with a 29:23.
The battle rages on.
That's awesome.
Trog, step your game up. Yo, this no timer thing's actually kind of refreshing.
You should just do this all the time, man.
I know, right?
Yeah, we are officially out of escape now, so most of the time in a run you'll see runners be grabbing the heart that's in the sanctuary here, but Screevo's going to have to do that a little bit later. Right now he's just going to save and quit, which is not normally allowed in the traditional NMG categories, but in all major glitch categories, save and quit is allowed. So he's going to be doing that to go straight to Link's house and then go on to Eastern, which is a little bit faster than just walking there.
Save and quit, the most powerful major glitch.
It's actually tough to execute pretty well. I mean, the save and quit menu is just awful.
It's abysmal. I swear to God, the frame timer on it is random. I actually, you can place your bets now for improper save and quits. The over-under is set at 1.5.
Yeah, definitely over.
Thanks.
By the way...
This next dungeon's gonna go pretty normally too. There's an optional glitch you could do on this overworld area to speed the screen up by about 5 seconds. But oh boy, is it hard.
Hi.
I know of exactly one runner that actually goes for it and probably saves time with it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, even though the world record holder is not really a big fan of going for it, so.
Hey, did you save the frame on the boomerang? I didn't even see.
I did not. I only got 2 pumps left, and I didn't want to try
Didn't
to
even
save
get
it.
the quick
So.
boom, probably, huh?
No, I went around. My signature frame, and I didn't even save it.
Rip. Losing out on all the branding, dude.
I'll talk to my agent. I am going to go for the diag.
Yo, nice. Yeah, so coming up in this dark room here pretty soon, screevo is going to be throwing his boomerang seemingly just randomly into the darkness diagonally. But hopefully he's going to be able to pick up a pot and then grab a key on the return of the boomerang. Nice. And that strat was actually found by our very own Josh here.
He did it.
Shoutouts to him.
What is pumping that we didn't talk about?
So
It's a thing.
Pumping's a little movement optimization. If you're moving north or west and you mash in alternate directions, sometimes against the air, sometimes against a wall, you can save little frame boosts on Link's walking animation. It's really like everybody that runs this game and starts out, they think it's this huge deal, but it saves like 10 seconds over the run.
Well, less in this category. When we make our 10-second estimate, we're talking about, you know, an hour-and-a-half run.
Right.
Yeah.
So in terms of rupees for this route, 10 are actually all that's needed because we only need to temper our sword. So screevo already has 7 rupees. There's actually a tree that he can bonk a little bit later on and get another 5 rupees out of if he doesn't happen to get any more drops along the way. But it's a little more friendly in this particular category in terms of the rupee routing because we do only need 10, so we don't have to do a bunch of extra running around or anything to farm up rupees or pull any trees or anything silly like that.
Yo, nice arrow drop.
Screevo.
Hold on. Things have happened. Oh, yeah.
He was desperately trying to cover up this Armos fight, I think. But
That's...
the most important thing is that he got out of it. He got the pendant, which is really the only thing he needs coming out of here because this is going to allow him to get the boots, which is going to allow him to do some clipping and things on the overworld, which will allow us to access some areas out of sequence. So the very first one you're going to see...
That's red Armos.
The very first one you're going to see after he grabs the boots here, he's going to save and quit and head back to the sanctuary, pick up that sync heart that he didn't grab earlier so that he's got full hearts, and then he is going to be going to a very specific spot on the overworld screen and holding his sword out and tapping a direction and A at the same time, which is going to allow him to do what we call dash buffering, which is going to allow him to actually clip into the wall a little bit, and at the correct point, once he actually gets in there, he's going to reactivate clipping, which is going to send him out of the screen and wrap it so that when he transitions, he's going to all of a sudden be on Death Mountain, which normally you would have to have the power gloves to actually pick up the big rock that's there. Getting some extra words of encouragement from Zelda before he heads out to the mountain, because it is a scary place, which is why he picked up the sync cart there. So, all right, you're going to see his execution of the glitch coming up here pretty soon. All right, so working his way into the wall here. He's going to reactivate the clipping, and then he's going to scroll the screen, and then he's on Death Mountain. And so now the screen looks all funny because he's not actually where the map is like putting him. and showing him on the screen. He's actually in a completely different spot, which is why he ends up in this cave, which is going to allow him to get to the old man and access him early and then grab the mirror.
Yeah, and the mirror is a very powerful item. Not just for transitioning Link between the light and dark worlds, but it also allows for a couple funny sequence breaks and skips.
Squirrels are great.
Ooh, yeah, that's rough. Yeah, in this category, we do not grab the hookshot, and hookshot is really one of the only items that we get that really makes squirrels, you know, even remotely reasonable to deal with, but not going to give it here. What he's going to do now, actually, is going to be heading up to a cave here on Death Mountain, and he's going to be attempting to get into the Palace of Darkness to get the hammer. And the way he's going to do that is by another method of clipping, which is called bomb clipping. So he's going to place a bomb in a very specific spot and dash into it as it's exploding, and that's going to clip him into the wall, much in the same way that he got into the wall through dash buffering. And so he reactivates the clipping there and gets sent down a room below, which every room in this game is actually on the same map in the underworld. So by just transitioning one screen down there, he ends up in the Palace of Darkness here. And
Which is
all he needs to get from here is the hammer.
Yeah, that's actually at the top of the map. So if you've played this game, normally the bridge that you do this trick on normally collapses, but because we wrapped the map vertically, the sprite that despawns the map is gone. So I have all day.
Yeah, if you've ever seen the half A press Mario video where they mention parallel worlds, he's basically in a parallel universe of the game right now. This is sort of outside the array of the normal map, and as such, nothing has spawned in whatsoever.
Shoutouts to the save and quit menu.
There we go. So yeah, for that trick there, he needed to put the bomb and Link on very specific Y coordinates in order to be able to just boost himself across that gap to actually get access to the hammer a little bit earlier. So, all right, so now what we're going to see is he actually needs to get off of Death Mountain now and get down into the Village of Outcasts in the Dark World. So he's going to be doing, he's going to go into the Dark World here and then doing a very specific setup so that when he transitions the screen here, he is going to end up off of Death Mountain and be able to get into Thieves Town. So he's going to buffer to a very specific coordinate here and try to use the mirror on the same frame that he transitions, which he doesn't quite get, but is totally okay because he was moving in such a way to where he was going to be sent off of the mountain and not soft lock. There is a way that if you are not in the correct walking animation and the camera isn't in the correct spot when you transition, that you can potentially soft lock the game there. So
yeah.
He was buffering using the select menu there to make sure that he didn't hit that transition too early, and was trying to use the mirror to execute that transition, which is a little bit faster than the transition that he ended up with, but the one he did is just safe and easy and has a really nice consistent setup.
Yeah, the good one saves 20 seconds over doing it manually. What I fell back to saves about 9. But now we get to the fun part.
Yes. So mirror jumps are lots of fun. If you want to explain those, Josh.
Hey guys, by the way, just quickly, we still don't have a donation for kill or safety animals. You can't be serious? Really? Are you like... Oh?
Get your donation said.
Sick mirror bonk.
He's gonna be doing this series of warps to get set up on a specific part of this ledge here. Ordinarily, you need the Titan Smiths, which is the dungeon item in Thieves Town, to be able to lift these heavy rocks to access the frog. But when he gets on a certain part of this ledge, he's gonna try to do a frame-perfect mirror as he jumps, and this will actually put him beyond the rocks if he sets everything up correctly. It's a pretty tough glitch, though, because it's frame perfect. You basically have to, when you hold a direction against a ledge, a little countdown starts in the game that lasts exactly 20 frames. On the 20th frame, Link will jump, and that's the frame he needs to mirror on. And to make matters even worse, the bunny has a very inconsistent walking animation, so he has to rely on other cues.
Yeah. So he's looking for, like Josh said, a very specific frame to mirror on here. If he mirrors early, he's just going to get sent back to the light world, and all is fine. But if he presses Y too late, the bunny's just going to end up hopping off the ledge. So looks like he got the early one right there, which is much better than jumping off, because if you jump off, you have to go all the way back around and set it up again. So yeah, this trick can be really frustrating because it is frame perfect, but there are 2 frames of the frog's animation that look exactly the same. So if you get the early one, that's great, because you just have to deal with the transition between worlds once again. But yeah, being late is extra bad.
Yeah, it would be easier to get the Moon Pearl, but that wastes a lot of time. So
early.
Yeah, early is still good though. Like, you can get a bunch of early ones in a row and still not be losing anything over jumping off.
There. Sorry, spoilers.
But yeah, pretty soon here we should see him get it on the correct frame here, and you're going to see the bunny shift by a pixel. And that's going to allow him to actually get past these rocks now and get to the frog.
Shoutouts to Mutsky for not having to use the practice hack.
Don't speak so soon.
So normally, I would be going to get the sword, but there's an interesting little caveat about this category where if you die on Ganon, you die in real life. Or at least the run does. You can't get back to the Ganon fight. You would have to take this like 5-minute detour and go get the Moon Pearl. And because I want to show off the whole run, I'm going to sacrifice about 30 seconds here, and I'm going to actually grab a bottle of net. And you're going to see a really weird animation as the Smith celebrates getting the net with Link.
I actually don't know if I know what you're talking about with this. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, the health he has now, those 5 hearts. Those 5 hearts are what he's going to beat the game with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the Smith was so into it, but...
So yeah, if you think G-Tower is difficult in a normal run, where you have, well over 10 hearts and a whole bunch of items and everything, just wait until you watch it done with 5 hearts and really no other safeties to speak of.
Dash, please.
Alright, so he's going to be grabbing the Tempered Sword now. Going to save and quit and go back up to Death Mountain one more time, and is going to be attempting to enter G-Tower without actually having all of the crystals from the Dark World dungeons that you would normally need to enter it. And we also do this through some out-of-bounds glitches. We're going to be clipping through a wall again and then wrapping the screen so that when we actually walk up into the stairway here that you'll see in a little bit, you're actually going to be standing on the entrance to G-Tower. The way he's going to accomplish this, normally you would have to, if you're a bunny, you have to actually do 1-frame movements into this wall here, but there's another setup where you can actually just mirror back to the light world, and since we have boots, we can actually just dash buffer into the wall and then walk slightly back into it from the left so that we hit the warp again to get sent back. And when we get sent back as a bunny, we'll actually already be clipped into the wall, and then we could just move up to the spot that we need to and jump down. That was very well executed. Nicely done, dude.
Press F to pay your respects for the bunny.
Yeah. He's going to take an intentional death now here. He needs to do this because obviously he's a bunny right now, and while bunnies are cute, they're not exactly effective at defeating Ganon. So he's going to intentionally die here, and when he comes back, he's going to be Link.
Real quick, anybody that knows this route knows you normally get the sword before the hammer. Because you can soft lock on the screen transition to the sword, I got the hammer first, so I had the save and quit to fall back on. Just saw the question in chat.
I I have a $5 donation by Ninis saying, "Safety Muldum, hover in style." So guys, you have a
I'm hovering.
Guys,
Hovering either way.
yeah. Guys, you have a minute or so. No.
Yeah, get those donations in
Yeah.
soon. He's going to be getting to Moldorm pretty quickly, hopefully.
Yeah, not a
But,
few minutes actually, until screevo is through the gauntlet and can show you some stuff.
Yeah, so Ganon's Tower, we don't have the hook shot, very notably. We also don't have the fire rod. We also only have 5 hearts. So a few of these rooms require some slightly different strategies that you'll see. Those first few rooms were an example of it. That diagonal boomerang that he did there a little earlier was actually very, very precise. It's a very precise pixel window to even get that diagonal boomerang. And now he needs to do another bomb jump to get over this gap, or you can just hover it is another option.
How about both?
Well, yeah, we could see a little bit of both. So get a sneak preview of the hover glitch here. Just a tiny little appetizer for you.
Yeah, I apologize, guys. For whatever reason, my stream has a ton of stream delay, so the commentary sync that ZSR has been using for everybody else doesn't work for me. So.
No. No. There was...
I would like to point out something interesting. You might wonder why the game brought him back as Link. He's actually in the light world right now. The game automatically puts you in the light world if you die in the dark world before you defeated Aghanim 1. Otherwise, you could get stuck in the dark world. Are we running into an Armos party soon?
Yep.
He fell in with 19, so he's got at least 1 extra, but that may not do it.
Uh-oh.
Should be fine down here in the corner. Just gonna use some slashes and pokes to take him out. It's gonna have kind of an interesting effect, perhaps, on the Ganon fight, though.
Normally, I would be getting Josh's fairies, but those bats are already jacked. So.
Yeah. One of the interesting things about Ice Armos is they share a variable with Ganon. When the Armos Knights circle, they use like what we call the arc variable, and it's reused at Ganon for his Firebat circle. And it's actually pretty important to have Ice Armos go well, so you know exactly what kind of pattern you're going to get with the Firebats. Unfortunately, screevo doesn't have that luxury here.
Nice floor, too. That's a room with a slightly different strat here in this category. The gauntlet is going to be coming up here pretty soon, so make sure you're getting those donations in for saving or killing Moldorm. But the gauntlet rooms themselves really aren't going to vary a whole lot, but obviously being at 2 hearts, we need to be very cognizant of our health moving through here. So, going for the bow dash in the spike room and gets it. Nice. Good stuff. But once we actually get past the gauntlet and then into the Lanmo 2 fight, after that, the dungeon gets a little bit different in terms of the strats and execution you have to use.
If you've never tried coming through this dungeon on this low amount of health, trust me, it's really hard.
So I'm almost finishing the bit war, and right now murder the... I'm not saying the word that the donor said. So definitely killing the animal is winning right now. $10 to $5. So.
I support this.
A thing just happened. Ice physics in this game
Don't...
So thing.
Oh, dodging the spark. Oh,
Ice physics in this game are a thing.
Yeah, they are. But luckily, he does have that fairy at least. He'll be good to go rolling into the Landmo refight now. The Landmo refight is a little bit different because he's not going to have the fire rod, so he's going to delay here a little bit in this room. He's going to cause all the Landmos to spawn at the same time in the next room, and that way he can get some tempered spins off that are at least guaranteed to hit pretty much all the worms at the same time. I would actually assume that I think we may see some farming in the Helma hallway once we get to it, if he's feeling like he needs another fairy. But check out these Wizard rooms. Still executing these rooms without the Cane of Samaria and getting them done as one cycle is very, very tough, especially this Wizard 2 room here. Yeah, that strat is so precise and very tough to execute, so it takes a lot of practice to get them dead in one cycle. Yeah, you should definitely check out some top runners of this category to see some really insane execution when it comes to G-Tower, Pincus especially.
Alright.
Intentionally waiting a long time there. If you try to go up those stairs on the same frame that the torches go out in the previous room, you will actually softlock the game.
So is kill winning?
It is.
Yeah, kill was less, I heard.
It is, let me say for sure. It is indeed killing the animal.
Well, see ya.
Alright, so Moldum's going to die here, and then Screevo's going to be hitting the A button in a very consistent and rhythmic manner to where he will not be letting go of the A button for any more than one frame at a time in order to actually get over this gap. Yo, first try, easy peasy. Letting off some extra celebratory bombs here.
Well, yes, I am.
Alright, looks like he's going to try to farm some mini Helmas here. Did get a fairy drop, nice. Oh, yeah, unfortunately.
Conveyored.
Yeah, again, I think that was like partially conveyor, partially like ice messing with you. But he's actually going to get since, as Josh explained earlier, he is in the light world right now, so that's why he's going to get the Aghanim 1 fight. And I'm going to be using the bug net here for a little bit of swag. Could use the sword that he paid, 10 whole rupees for, but I mean, he's got the net too. Why not?
Yeah, I'm using it on the guaranteeds. I practiced it, and I couldn't get the timing down to knock down the blue balls.
It's surprisingly difficult, isn't it?
Is the fairy still in the tree in the pyramid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're gonna be getting that.
Yeah, I highly recommend. Yeah, because as Screevo explained earlier, if he does die to Ganon, the lack of Moon Pearl is really gonna make it painful for him to finish out the run. So probably just gonna pick up another fairy to be safe here.
And because of the Ice Armos fight, there's a pretty good chance that I'm gonna take a Phase 2 death on Ganon.
Yeah.
I can take a bat to the face, I think. There's 4 hearts, right?
I believe in you.
Bats are 4, right?
Yeah, bats are 4. So with 5, you can survive 1.
Yeah, the Ganon fight is also a little bit different in this category as well, because normally you have the hookshot, which while Link is using the hookshot and it's actually active, he is considered to have iframes. So you see a lot of players just spamming the hookshot to try to dodge fire bats when really what you need to learn how to do is actually dodge fire bats. So Screevo gonna grab a fairy here, and then he'll be back to try his hand at doing just that.
You'll also notice beating Aghanim 1 in Ganon's Tower gives you a nice little graphical glitch where your sword and shield are black. Solid black. It looks pretty funny.
It's just a phase for Link, though. I'm sure he'll grow out of it. The best sprite, though, is when you mirror back to the light world with that.
Yeah, it's great fun. So this boss is hard. It looks like he's gonna have to settle for a 2-cycle here. Yeah.
Oh, nice RNG, though. Gets the top right so that he can pull off some double spins in the corner here. So he's just gonna be able to do 3 of these and hopefully walk out of these fire bats pretty much unscathed. Nice bunk. Or maybe not. I thought that was actually gonna work.
I think I landed on a spawning bat.
Yeah. So that, I mean, maybe if the arc burial was different, that would have been different too. Got 1 heart here. I think he's going to be pretty comfy in this fight from here on out. Most top runners, as screevo is, has a sub 130 time in NMG, has a really, really solid time in this category as well. Anytime, or any sub 30 in this category is a really solid run. So most of those runners are pretty confident in their Ganon fight, especially once you get to phase 4 here. Feels pretty comfy.
Yeah, and he did a minor glitch here where he lit the left torch before the right one goes out, and now he never has to worry about the right one. He just gets to relight the left one. Speeds up the fight quite a bit, because you can get 3 spins in per torchlight.
Screevo, remember to say time when you're done.
Okay. And that's coming up shortly. 1 more spin.
Okay. Got a little close to Ganon that last one too, but yeah.
Time.
GG.
I don't have a timer up. I'm gonna guess 31:25.
Wow. That's an interesting guess.
That's quite far off, actually. You finished with a 34:30.
Okay. Ganon's tower went a lot worse than I thought.
Yeah, and it was like...
Oh, I had to get a pyramid fairy. That takes like...
Yeah, that
45
like,
seconds.
6-try mirror jump or something like that. But really solid run for a marathon.
Well, it felt better than it turned out then. But underestimate.
Yeah, dude.
Underestimate, and shoutouts to you, Screevo, and Josh, and Greenham, and also Gobbity, Bobbity, and Jake that still are on the layouts, and I'm not sure why. I can't figure it out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thanks for keeping us company.
So yeah, that was great. Guys, any final words from you? Anything you want to say?
Just want to say that Link to the Past is a poppin' speed game right now. I think we're the 4th top game as far as active runners on speedrun.com. We've got the NMG tourney going on. We've got the practice hack. We've got a Discord that we will teach you this game as much as you want. Please come play Link to the Past. You will love it. You will hate it, but you'll have fun occasionally doing it. And again, thank you to poor little Pincus for making that practice hack, which pretty much made me running this category possible, and to Pincus and Nasatar for coming up with that bomb clip, which also made this category a lot more open to a lot of runners. Greenham, Josh, anything to say?
I think you covered pretty much all the bases.
Yeah, thanks to ZSR for hosting us and putting this on. This marathon is really, really fun to watch every time it's on, and appreciate you guys doing this.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you guys so much, and we will go to a break, like a 10-minute break, I guess.